Hello and welcome to another episode of Indigo Improv, the show where I ramble unscripted in front of an indigo backdrop about some theme of my choosing, or my stealing, as is the case this week, because I'm going to steal a theme from the Project Chronicles, which last week they talked about guilty pleasures, so that's what I'm going to talk about in this episode. Look guys, a plant! Don't get too excited, it'll be dead soon. Okay, guilty pleasures. I don't really have any guilty pleasures because I don't really feel any guilt for the things I get pleasure from. So, I mean, I do feel bad about that, in fact, because I'm just sort of moving through life without any regrets. But, like, I mean, I guess if I feel bad about it, it is a guilty pleasure, so the guilty pleasure is guilty pleasures, and my brain has just imploded into a paradox black hole. Don't worry, guys, my head was already empty. Self-deprecating humor. When you're too much of a coward to make fun of anybody else. My real guilty pleasure would have to be superhero movies. That's right. Yep, I've liked every superhero movie I've ever seen. I know, everyone's always like, are you kidding? Daredevil? Ben Affleck should not be playing a superhero. I'm like, guys, he can, like, see things, like, through echolocation. Besides, it's just Daredevil. It's not like they got Ben Affleck to play an iconic character like Batman. What's that? There have been quite a few superhero movies that critics have just, like, slammed, and I thought were, like, totally, like, awesome. Like, Captain America? I mean, I don't think people, like, really hated it, but I think that was better than The Avengers, and The Avengers was freaking awesome. One thing I really liked about Captain America, the first Avenger, that I think more superhero movies need to do is a montage scene of him just kicking all the butts, because I don't think enough superhero movies show the superhero being awesome. Like, they figure out they have powers, they're trying to come to terms with it, there's usually a romantic interest, and then there's some, like, big triumphant battle at the end where he almost loses because the supervillain is so hardcore, but then he triumphs anyway. And it's like, there's no scenes of him, like, actually being a superhero, like, not, like, fighting crime or whatever. Captain America was out there killing Nazis, or whatever. I don't remember what the soldiers were. I didn't pay attention. I was just too busy watching them go. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that I love superheroes, because I used to draw them a lot. This is my one superhero that I named Rad, whose power was that he was super talented at everything. Like, he mysteriously, supernaturally maybe, was the best at any one thing that required skill. So that means everything from being really good at fighting, to really good at breakdancing, to really good at just, like, spitting really accurately, like, and you're just like, oh, I got you in the eye because I'm really good at spitting. And another character that I drew was the Sleepwalker, which I feel like somebody may have done this before, but, you know, her power is basically that she sleepwalks, and that's where she gets her powers, because she's melded with the dream world, and her physical form doesn't realize that it's not in a dream, so then, like, it's able to do anything. Anything that can happen in a dream, she can do it while she's in the real world. That, when I explain it after the fact, it sounds stupid, but I'm basically done making superheroes now because I'll leave that up to Hollywood. They'll make the movies and I'll watch them because I like staring at fit, athletic, muscular people in tight outfits. What are we talking about? Obviously there's more to it than that. If I just wanted to stare at skinny people in spandex, I would order a bunch of yoga DVDs or just watch one of the 57 I already own. But it's about the powers, the superpowers, shooting lasers from your fingertips and sparks from your nostrils, because that's what we came to see. Also Chris Hemsworth. And I know what you're wondering, if I could pick any superpower, what would I choose? And it would be invisibility. And I wouldn't use it for anything creepy, like spying on the Russian government or anything. I would just do normal things, like, you know, going into locker rooms and bathrooms and stuff. And that's it for this episode of Indigo Improv. What are your guilty pleasures? What superpower would you choose? All the cliche comic questions, answer them below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you've got a guilty pleasure to put yourself in, when you have one, you